Well, we've just had the finish to the Austrian Grand Prix, and it was an absolute banger. Absolute incredible race. All the excitement that we had in 2023 is in one weekend, and we absolutely knew the results of the Grand Prix at the end, straight at the end when the checker flag came out. Of course we did. No, we didn't. We didn't. In fact, the official result was confirmed 6 hours after the race finished. 6 hours. Now, you're probably thinking, well, the governing body, the FIA, what are they doing? What are they playing at? That's a bit mad, isn't it? Well, no. Because I'm about to tell some context that started spreading. You might already know it already. But let's start building up that context. So, the Austrian Grand Prix was a 71 lap race. Now, if you work that out in terms of the 20 cars on the grid, that means that all the cars, if they'd have finished all of the laps, would have completed 1,420 laps. Why am I going into this detail? You'll find out soon. Now, there was one car, Nico Hulkenberg, who retired after 12 laps, so he didn't complete 59 laps. We're down to 1,361 laps. We had 8 cars that were lapped, so they only completed 70 laps. We're now down to 1,353 laps. Why on earth am I talking in terms of single laps completed by every driver and we're now into 1,000s? Well, because the FIA announced exactly how many track limits breaches there were reported on this track that they had to investigate in terms of penalties. In total, they had to investigate 1,200 breaches. Yes, I said that right. 1,200 breaches. Now, they confirmed that there were 2 drivers that didn't get a single track limits breach. So, 71 laps, 142 laps on, we're down to 1,211 laps. With the 18 drivers left that did 1,211 laps, we had 1,200 breaches. Now, I'm not saying this was one breach per lap. In fact, the way that the Austrian Grand Prix is, there are 2, maybe even 3 corners where you could extend track limits and potentially get an unfair advantage. Although, if everyone's doing it, is it really that unfair? I don't know. Bit of an odd one. Bit of an odd one. Now, the questions are gonna get raised, aren't they? Because, okay, fair enough, on the FIA, the 6 hours thing, I can sort of understand why it would have taken them that long. Let's imagine that there was, one person looking at every single breach and building up every single breach, and took 1 minute for every single breach. It would have taken them around about 40 hours, possibly 20 hours if it was 600 laps. But going on to this sort of time frame. Okay, they've probably got a team of 5, a team of 10 looking into it. We're still talking about 4 hours, and that's if they spend 1 minute on each breach, which actually they can't do because they've got to do cumulative. And how many breaches have they done? How many breaches has this person done? What seems a fair punishment? What seems an unfair punishment? Looking into it, detail on each driver, because goodness me, could you imagine if they'd have added a minute's worth of penalties for each driver? Well, it's not worth it, is it? It's not worth it. So you can understand why. So the focus sort of has to be on the drivers. Why are we in this situation? Lewis Hamilton reported that his car was undrivable. Now, we don't know the truth of that. We don't know if it's true, whether it was just making it up for the, so that he didn't get a penalty. We don't know. Is there some truth behind that? But we're not talking one driver here. We're talking 18 drivers that breached. What's going on? Is there some legitimacy to the comments that we had in the past about their tires being so big that they actually genuinely cannot see the limits of the track and they're having to second guess? Is there other things that are going on? Now, we're coming up with theories as perhaps F1 streamers and broadcasters and everything like that, but the fact of the matter is, why isn't anyone telling us? Why are we not hearing drivers' points of view on this? Are they being shut down straight away? Are they not opening up? We don't know. But the main thing is that for us as F1 fans, we're missing out. The next race that comes, which by the way is this weekend in Silverstone, how confident are we going to be when the race results get announced, when the checker flag falls, that it's going to stay that way? How about the Austrian Grand Prix next year? We know it's a thing when it comes to the track limits. So is it going to be the same again? Well, possibly not. You see, the FIA did make recommendations to the track to maybe put in a gravel trap. Now, they're on the right wavelength, but I don't think they've got the right idea. But I do have a good idea as to what they can do. And in a weird way, I'm going to be relying on, in modern Formula One, what's being considered as one of the worst tracks of the calendar. That abomination of a track with the blue and red and black stripes, Paul Ricard. Now, I don't want them to use like the multicolored or anything like that, but let's say the red stripes, right? Because that would work for the track. Those stripes on the Paul Ricard circuit, the French Grand Prix, they are designed to slow the car down smartly. It's technically tarmac, but it's roughened tarmac to slow the car down. Could they put that on the track limit so that if a driver does extend the track limits, it's actually making it more difficult for the driver, it's slowing the driver down? And actually, if you think about it, how exciting would it make the race be if you've got a driver in front, a race going on between two drivers, and the driver in front then extends track limits and is now slower than he wants to be for that straight? How exciting would that be? How incredible would that be? Where this battle that didn't seem like it was going to happen has now just become really intense. Maybe Paul Ricard's the answer.